This is the Permaculture Podcast. I'm Scott Mann. In this episode, Mary Marshall sits down with Andrew Tuttle to talk about her history, what brought her to permaculture and design, and her thoughts about the future. Along the way, they share the stories from their time together over many years as partners in different aspects of life, traveling, living, and creating with one another. Enjoy this intimate interview between Mary and Andrew, and I'll join you again after.
Welcome, everybody, to the Permaculture Podcast. My name is Andrew Tuttle, and today I'm with Mary Marshall, and today's all about her. Welcome to the show, Mary.
Hi. It's different to be on this side of things, but I'm excited to answer some of the questions you have for me and open up to everybody.
Well, I don't really have any questions. I'm just going to have a conversation and just try to, I don't know, I want people to get to know you because I love you. I think you're the greatest. And we've been, best friends now for 13, 14 years, something like that. And I have seen you grow and evolve and change into this amazing person that you literally are my best friend. You are my very, very best friend. And to get to do this podcast with you is such an honor. So yeah, let's hear about you. Let's start way back when. And can you tell everybody about I don't know, what little Mary was like growing up?
As a little tot. Growing up, goodness gracious, that was a long time ago. I would say growing up, my family was always very adventurous and we spent a lot of time outside. And I think that that is definitely reflective in who I am today. All the years of camping and hiking and swimming definitely was always in the water, in the ocean, and just spent a lot of time exploring. I had a very adventurous spirit as a kid. I was always a bit of a climber. I mean, I don't rock climb or anything, but uh, even before I was walking, my mom always, her favorite story about me was that before I was walking, had climbed on top of the upright piano. And I just was never really scared to go for it. And I think that that's still reflective in my life today, that I just want to challenge myself. And I think that that is something I strive for every day. And that I just love exploring and adventuring and have lots of hobbies when it comes to that, whether it be snowboarding or that kind of thing. But at the heart of it all, if I'm outside and out in nature, then that's my happy place. That keeps me excited about life.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I got to meet little Mary and see this kid that climbed on top of the piano.
Oh, I
Uh,
mean, I was pretty fun. I was always outside, whether it's playing hide and go seek in the hay fields at the neighbor's house or climbing trees. My sister would be inside playing with her Barbies, and I'd be up in a tree somewhere.
well, yeah, I certainly remember being, I think I was 18 or 19 years old when we met, around that age. And
Hmm.
I just was like, wow, she's so much fun. She is just, you were the most popular person I knew. Everybody loved you. And I was just like, I need to be friends with her too. And we started hanging out and we had a blast. And we've been so close ever since. But you were sharing about being young. Where did you grow up?
Mostly within kind of Whatcom County. My dad was a pastor, and so we moved around a little bit when I was really little, but in a young age, made it to Whatcom County, Birch Bay area. My mom always lived in that area, but then my dad remarried, and I moved to Canada with him and my stepmom, and lived just north of the border. And much of my childhood was spent there. Just moved back to the States for my teens, late teens. But spent a lot of time exploring BC, British Columbia, and loved that chapter of my life. That was just a really fun one, and my stepmom has always been a really good influence for adventuring. She's very outdoorsy, and my parents are so cute. They just had their anniversary, and they still call each other their bike buds, and they just are always outside. And I think that having Judy, my stepmom, in my life really was a transformative thing for me because she has been an incredible influence in that adventurous spirit.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. In all the time I've known Ron and Judy, they're like always on adventures. They're always like telling us how excited they are about the next thing.
They're
They're
always
like,
planning and plotting something,
yeah,
right?
inviting us to spend time with them, and they have been such amazing influences in my life as well. And it's so cool to see, you know, how much they've impacted you in that area and helped with that adventurous spirit that you have. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So where else have you been in this life? You know, you spent most of your childhood in the Northwest, in Washington State and British Columbia, and then what happened next?
Yeah, I mean, I did some traveling in my early 20s. I went to India and Nepal and have always been ready to pack my bag and go somewhere fun and exciting and new. And one of those adventures was when I met you and went to the East Coast and bounced around there for a while, but then landed in Virginia and ended up buying a house there and loved being there for that short period. It was only, what, 4 years, but being able to get connected with that area and have my first garden was kind of the staple part of this journey in getting into farming and just getting my hands dirty. Because, sure, I was always connected with nature, but being able to be a part of that in a way where you're growing something and helping facilitate that was really transformative for me and just haven't stopped ever since.
Yeah, yeah, Virginia was really cool, uh, in a lot of ways. And I definitely like saw so much of your transformation during that time from, you know, being what, 24 when you moved to the East Coast to
Yeah.
then coming back to the Northwest, almost 5 years later.
Right. And then after moving back, the just kept going from there, learning about permaculture and learning about farming and gardening. That just steamrolled from there because that's when I did my permaculture design course in Monroe at Alderleaf Wilderness College and studied under Dave Bainline. And that's when you did your first course, co-teaching that one. So it was nice to carpool to that. And then just, yeah, started interning on Inspiration Farm in Bellingham, Washington, and bought first farm in Everson, Bellingham, Washington, and just really kept going from there in learning about farming systems and just how to take care of land ethically and wanting to bring other people into that journey as well. It's never been a solo journey for me. It takes many hands to take care of land, but also it's something that should be shared with other people because I've never seen being on a farm or owning a home or owning land, it's never felt like it's mine. I just see it as a resource that should be shared with other people and share that beauty and share that journey with others. So it's been fun to be now in Arlington, Washington at Prague Tree Farm. It's a part of a land trust, and so really I am here with you and our other friends co-stewarding this land. And I just love that it's an equal opportunity to tend to this land. And I love that part about it because yeah, we can share the fruits of our labors together and the responsibility together. And I think that that's a beautiful thing because then you are able to be alongside other people with the wins, but also the trials, and make the decisions together. So it's been, that's been a really cool part of getting to know farming and being able to get to this point. It really is an honor to be here. One that I didn't see coming, but I am here for it.
Yeah, and it's been so cool from my perspective. Just like, you legitimately are the most talented person I've ever met in my life. And when I say that, I mean, like, your design work is so high quality. You are a perfectionist in all that you do, and it can be a detriment, but it's oftentimes a very good thing that you put your heart into everything you do. And you just see that. You see that in your design work, you see that in your video work, you see that in your web development, and every single thing you touch your hands to, it becomes more beautiful and becomes an incredible work of art. And that's a part of your story I want to hear a little bit more about. But I want to go back to the permaculture design course and hear some of your thoughts and experiences there. Like, what was that like to take a full-length permaculture design course that was out of college, that was part of a 9-month program? Like, what was that experience like for you? Like, start with the beginning, and share with everybody, like, what was that experience like, and how did that impact your journey?
That period of my life was a really interesting one, and one that I wish that I could relive, because I did learn a lot through that process, and um, I've I've loved being able to be a part of teaching others permaculture and be a part of helping others in that journey, um, because the reasons why I did a real deep dive into all of this is because of tragedy and wanting to be more connected with the earth, and how healing that can be. Because there was a tragedy in my family, and lost several family members in one blow. And don't mind me as I'm getting choked up, but it just, being able to process that grief through caring for others and all of the ethics within permaculture, but caring for the earth and being able to pour that energy of wanting to just love others and find healing within that, and love the earth and find healing within that as well, and all the other ethics within permaculture, was much needed. And so being able to have that experience in a way that was very tactical and very hands-on and productive. I'm somebody that doesn't like to sit still, and finds a lot of pride in being productive. And I know that's not something that should define me, or should be what I live for, but it is very healing and feels good when you're able to have that sense of accomplishment. And I think that was something that I really needed within that time period. And it gives me some structure in life and kept me moving forward in a time that was, it was a bit dark at times, and I needed ways to find light. And the farming community and finding community at Alderleaf gave that light. And and I think that being within a community of people that care as well has been something that has really stuck with me, and it is something that I crave constantly. And so it's nice to have that within permaculture, that I'm able to have that commonality with others, where we just want to do the very best we can to care for this planet and care for the people around us. And so during a time of need, that was a beautiful thing. And it helped to hone in on my skills that I had within art. That was an incredible part of all of this. And just to that thirst for learning, to nurture that was much needed as well. And I have realized that I will always have a thirst for learning, and this is a great field for that because you never stop. There's always something to learn.
Yeah, we'll never learn it all. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah, that was really beautiful. I love the way you basically described finding this bright light in a dark time in permaculture, because I certainly experienced that myself while we were going through some hard times. And yeah, to have this community, like you said, to catch you and support you and nurture you and learn alongside and empower you and heal the earth together. Like I just feel like, what I'm hearing from your experiences, it's like you healed from your grief, you healed your body with land stewardship, you healed your soul with caring for the earth and caring for people and practicing these ethics and applying these principles of permaculture to your life. And I got to see it all. And it is like really cool to see like permaculture as medicine.
It is. It truly is. Yeah. And it's something that I have always needed to be outside. And I think that that is something that within a time where I needed healing, being able to learn, but also have it be outside in nature and interacting with animals. I hadn't had the opportunity to really tend to animal care other than dogs, which I won't get into because I'm obsessed. But I have always loved animals, and sure, maybe it's not an honor to scoop manure every morning, but it kind of was. I loved getting to feed the cows, and I didn't know I could love turkeys as much as I did, but they're just very fun and very social. And I think that being able to be connected with being outside and interacting with those animals was just at Inspiration Farm specifically was a really cool opportunity, and one that I didn't know I had really needed as much as I did.
Yeah, definitely. So many lessons learned from the special critters that you've got to spend time with. And I just want to ask about more about your permaculture education and your journey. You did your permaculture design course and job shadowing under Terra Phoenix Design, which is, Dave. We spent so much time with Dave Bainline and Paul Kearsley and Doug Bullock. And what was that experience like for you to go and study under Dave and do your permaculture design course and then get out in the field and work under professional designers?
Yeah, I think that being able to go from just conceptualizing and having an outlet for art, being able to go from that to seeing professionals in the field was really important for me, because I saw their interview process and saw all their note taking and the sketchy bits. You don't get to see those when you look at the beautiful designs that people have put together, and being able to see that process in action was really important for me. And then around that same time, went to Edmonds College and was a part of their horticulture department and did their landscape design track. That was massive in being able to feel confident within this field, because although much of the skills that I learned within formulating designs, landscape designs, and plant placement, a lot of that was ornamental and for smaller residential landscapes. That was huge. Combining that with shadowing Terra Phoenix and getting to chat with Dave about his design process, combining those two things was huge for me. And I lean into both experiences, and both are just as equal within this educational journey for helping me within being a landscape designer.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean the school experience was nuts. Like we had one of the most cutthroat instructors.
I mean,
of,
she was a landscape architect
Mhm.
and was working on her PhD
Yeah.
and had very high expectations. And I also have high expectations for myself. So having that dream team, some tears were shed.
Mhm. Oh yeah, there was tears, there was blood. No, there was no there was no blood. But no, having such a like incredible department at Edmonds, Lorraine Brooks, Alejandra Feliciano leading the design department. But Lorraine heading up the whole horticulture department. I mean, she was just a legend, and we actually just went to her retirement party just what 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the days that we spent with her walking around looking at plants, doing plant ID.
Hmm.
She is a genius. She can just rattle off all these plant names. And I learned so much from her. And I'm so grateful for going to school there and being under those educators was just an honor.
Yeah, they were incredible, and I really feel like it's one of the best kept secrets in probably the whole U.S., maybe the world, as far as the level of education we received there was just nuts.
Yeah, because so many people, after doing their PDC, they're like, where do I go from here? And you have this, you're craving more and don't necessarily have all the confidence that you need in order to just launch your own business. Or at least I didn't. I still needed more. I wanted more. And being able to study plants under these instructors really helped me to feel like I was equipped to
Hmm.
help people make their dream landscape or their farm, and being able to put all those systems together. I wouldn't have been able to be where I am if it wasn't for the PDC, and vice versa with going to Edmonds. I needed that combo.
Hmm. Yeah, no, you paired those perfectly because you had this incredible background in art, doing paintings and all kinds of stuff. You had this great foundation there, and you built on that with the PDC, and then you professionalized it within the landscape design program. And just seeing your skills develop so quickly was like mind blowing for me because so Mary and I both did the program, and I was never gonna be the artist. You were always gonna be the artist. I just wanted to learn, what's kind of like what are the professional skills so I could scrap something together that could look pretty good. But you were always gonna be the lead designer on the design team, and so. No, it was just such a cool experience to, in such a short time, you went from having not really a whole lot of knowledge in this space, and then boom, in a couple of years, you were like professional designer, and the designs you were putting out were the highest quality I'd seen, and I was just amazed by you and still am. And for me, this is why like I'm such a huge advocate for design teams, is it's like you can't be great at everything, and like our team's got a designer or an artist, and together we put together some great stuff, but my skills are nothing without you. So I love knowing that, like, and it's not just the designs, it's like I was saying earlier, web development, video, literally anything, putting ink in the printer, like all the things I don't even know how to do. You do everything.
I'm IT and HR and all the little things.
All the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. We make a good team and we'll always be in business together because of that, because I do have a foundation of art and have sprinkled in that desire for, you know, getting to know all the plants that are out there, and touring all these farms and being on farms has been huge. Touring gardens nonstop. I mean, every time I'm on vacation, I'm always just looking for all the gardens and stumble across farms as I'm going to their farm stand and meeting random people and them inviting me onto their farm and into their homes so I can, because I'm just so curious. I'm just always wanting to know what they got going on. And
Mm.
that has been really huge in adding to that, because I'm not just an art nerd, but I'm able to, as we're walking around a space, be able to envision it. And I think that
Mhm.
that helps, because I'm able to translate that into putting it into scale. I mean, sure, the drone technology that we've acquired and that you've learned over the years has really helped to streamline that. But I think that within landscape design, I love that I'm able to have that be my thing.
Mhm. No, yeah, we certainly have carved out very specific things that we do in the business, and I do sloppy bits, and you make everything look beautiful and gorgeous all the time.
Your sloppy bits are important. I need your scratchy
Yeah.
bits.
No, they are, but I'm always impressed with how you can translate that into something that everybody else can actually read and understand and install too. That's another thing. Like you did project management a few years ago on a design project, and that was 100% you. I wasn't even really involved with that. And you did the design, you met with the clients, you did all the communication, and then you hired out the contractors and you did plant acquisition, laid out the plants, worked with the contractors to install the space. And this was just like such a beautiful landscape and an edible landscape with a food forest with these cool custom raised beds. It really was just, the 2D art's great. The landscape drawings are great, but you like brought that to life in that space. And it was just really cool. I was busy with school then. I was just, focused on my stuff. But then every time I looked up and saw what you were doing, I was like, whoa.
Well, that was an interesting one because that was just in somebody's front yard.
Hmm.
I took advantage of every square inch. I was like, how close to the road can I get? And yeah, that was a really fun one because I was able to take full reign on that. And it was a big responsibility. And I'm glad we're doing this together because it makes it a lot more fun. But it was good to put my boss lady pants on and and yeah, did it.
Yeah, no, I was super impressed, and that place turned out incredible. And they liked it so much that they hired you to do the back.
Like, we have a backyard too. Why don't we? Yeah.
Well, I think that weren't they like under construction? They built a
Yeah.
new house, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, the front was so good. We want Mary to come design the back." And yeah, then that turned out amazing. So, no, it's just been really cool over the years to like, have our different pieces of the businesses that we work on together, but then get to see like you shine in all of these different areas that oftentimes I'm not even a part of. And seeing you become a leader and a speaker and a teacher has been so cool too. Like we just did this workshop a couple weeks ago, and I loved seeing that you found your voice in this space, and rightfully so because you have years of experience of studying and becoming a pro and working in the field. And I just cherish these moments of seeing you just shine and inspire those folks. Like literally just got out of a meeting earlier today, for a design job we'll be working on soon. But this woman that was at the workshop that we taught was just raving about you, and I loved that. I love that, and I'm excited to get to collaborate more on the teaching space because that's kind of been more my focus over the years has been like this obsession with teaching and doing all that stuff and bouncing around to PDC. But now we're really getting into a flow, like a teamwork flow, and focusing more on the education side. So for me personally, I am thrilled for your design skills that you have that are very specific. I haven't seen much work like it. And it's like I'm thrilled to have opportunities for people to learn from you and learn those art skills, learn those professional drafting and design skills. And so yeah, I want to invite folks that are listening to check out the new school community. It's the Permaculture Collective. It's school.com/the Permaculture Collective, or you can visit edgeperma.com and click the link there. But we're going to be offering all kinds of different lessons on our design process, and you all will get a chance to learn from one of the best in the biz, my design partner, Mary Marshall. But maybe you could share a bit about what you're looking forward to in these next steps. Like there's so much is happening in our business and in our careers. What's going on for you? What are you excited about? Like what is next? What's on the horizon?
I am really excited to get more into the education piece and begin communicating all that I have learned over the years and years and years of doing this stuff. And I think that you're on the nose with that has been more of your focus, is teaching at events and that sort of thing. And I have just had my nose deep into the computer. And I've been learning the skills and finding the ways to communicate on paper as best as possible, so that when somebody looks at this 2D base map, that they're able to see all the layers. And I'm just excited to formulate that into kind of a coursework, or whether it be webinars, just be able to share that with others. I'm thrilled to do it. And I haven't always talked in front of people. I am a karaoke queen, and so I can I can get on a mic, I can get in front of people. I just haven't done a lot of talking in front of people. I've done mostly singing, which I love to do. But I think I can translate that feeling of doing something I love and not just hiding behind the computer, but being able to, document that and share that with others. I know how much I loved learning, and I just want to be a part of that in sharing this knowledge with other people. And I'm just excited for this community because it is through more of a chat. We're able to mentor others, but then also do the live Q&As and just be really involved with people in that process as they are in their different tracks, whether they're wanting to professionalize their skills, or maybe they have a farm or land that they're trying to transform and want help within that. All the different reasons that people might come to the community, I want to learn that. I want to get to know them. And I think that that's something that I'm really good at, is 1v1 talking to people. And so instead of standing on a stage and clicking through a PowerPoint, I'm excited to have it be more of an interactive thing. That's more my style. That's more my speed.
Yeah, I think a lot of us, like especially after 2020, how hard that was, just the disconnect, the separation and the solitude and all of that. Like so much of us in that time, and we still are really craving community. And you and I are actively working with some friends to build a intentional community here at Crabtree Farm. But I'm excited for the community space, the virtual space to open up and to see where those doors lead, and the connections that we can build and the relationship we can build. And I'm particularly excited. I know I already said this, but I'm particularly excited for people to have access to your knowledge and your skills, because I literally need to take your classes if I was going to specialize in the art side. But no, I'm thrilled for the opportunities there and the opportunity to get to build this space with you. It really is such an honor and so exciting for me to get to work with you on all of these things. And one of those things is this podcast that we're on. What's that about? What made you want to be on this podcast? What made you want to do this? And what are you excited about for the future of this podcast?
I think connecting with others. I know that I love podcasts in general, and all of the knowledge that you can learn from people. And I love that it's in a conversation format. That's what I crave, is conversations. And I'm excited to be able to be a part of that. I have been studying permaculture and farming for a really long time, but I always want to learn more, and I know that I will in this space. And I have lots of questions. And so since I'm hungry for that information, I think that this is the perfect spot for me, because I want to get all of that out of the people that we're interviewing, and know that as we meet these people, that I'll be able to get that info out of them for people and for others listening.
Yeah, that's actually like becoming a theme in our in our work is extracting and mining information from people because we do that when we go to a design job, a site, and it's like the whole interview process, the getting to know folks, and the site assessment. It's like you're mining information, trying to pull as much out of people as possible. And now we'll, you and I will be doing that on the show here. But what else is new for Edge Perma? Like, I know, but I don't think everybody else knows because no one really knows some of the exciting things that are going on.
Yeah, we have lots coming up. We're doing more virtual tours, more documenting of farms within the area. I'm trying to figure out how much information I'm allowed to share because there's new things happening, new things in the works, and contracts that need to be signed.
Yeah.
So I'm thrilled about a lot of things coming up. I guess I'm just trying to be careful.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll share more once that's my bad. I often jump ahead with excitement.
Andrew gets excited.
Yeah, I get excited and I overshare. Or as I like to view it, manifest. Like speak it into existence and it'll for sure happen. Something like that.
Oh, it'll happen.
No, yeah, we do have some very exciting things coming up. We will have some new content for everybody, virtual tour content, and we're giving it all away for free now. Like everything that we've done before in the past and the things that we are going to be working on this summer and this fall, that'll all be accessible in the school classroom.
Mm-hmm.
That's not spelled SCHOOL, SKOOL. But yeah, please find us there. We just really want to get to know you all there and check that out.
Yeah, and I'm excited to keep doing more video work because that's something that I love to do, and know that I am a very visual learner. And so being able to video interviews or do classes and have Q&As with other people, other professionals within this field will be a really fun thing for me to document, especially knowing that it will help so many people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and from my end, it's like I've seen your skills just like evolve so much in the video space, and you're a natural. And it's like just one more thing that is a valuable resource for our businesses and for the folks that we're trying to help with education in the permaculture space and the design space. And yeah, I'm just like I'm very, very excited to see like what happens next with your video skills, because it's been rad. It's been a dream.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No wonder I keep you around. You're a good hype man.
It's easy to hype you up. But no, like I'm wondering now, like what do you have to share with folks? Is there anything we haven't talked about today that you're just like, wow, I really wanted to share that. I really want to get into this.
I think a huge part of my day-to-day is being on the farm and being within community here. And I've been really intentional lately about nurturing those friendships. And that's really helped me to practice that intent, and that everybody deserves to feel seen. And so that's something that I think is really important within permaculture. Is it's not just about the plants. It's not about just using organic methods, but it's about the people. And that's something that I really want to nurture and feel connected with others, because for a good chunk there, I wasn't as intentional as I wanted to be, and kind of hid from things and just kind of became a little more quiet. But I don't want to be quiet anymore, and I want to feel like I'm seen, and I want others to feel seen as well. So I think that can be something that I find within the school community, but it's something that I've really loved about being on land with other people, and want to be really intentional with doing classes at Practree. And we had Edmonds College, their restoration class, come out here, and we had 20 plus students helping us pull blackberry, and they were thrilled to do it because we were thrilled to have them here, and not for the mere fact that we were pulling out weeds and pulling out that invasive, but that we were able to have that energy on the farm and be able to interact with others in a way that was very collaborative. And I want to keep that ball rolling, and we can do that in a virtual space. We can do that on the farm. And I think that's something that I am really excited to lean into.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. And that class was just a dream for me. And I know you as well. Like it was just such a heartwarming experience to have been here on this farm for a couple of years now. And I guess it had been more like a year and a half when the class came out. But you know, we moved into an awkward situation with transition and folks living here, and a lot of work to be done, and just a sense of like overwhelm and kind of chaos here, and just blackberries everywhere.
It's a restoration project as it stands right now. So that can feel really overwhelming, but we have many hands on deck, and it's already transformed so much in the past year or so. And I think that that's a really beautiful thing and something that I'm proud to be a part of.
Yeah. Yeah, it really was like such an incredible experience to have all of these folks show up with like a smile on their face to pull up blackberries. And I know a huge part of that was just telling the farm story and connecting folks to the history of this land and what's happened here. And I was just hoping you could share like a little bit about like what makes Crabtree Farm special.
Well, Crabtree Farm is a part of Evergreen Land Trust, and it was acquired in, was it the early 80s or late 70s?
So 51 years ago.
Okay. And it has always been farmed organically, and there's been tons of businesses that have been formed from this farm and have gone off to be very successful. Tilth Alliance was started here, and Mark Music. We have done interviews with him, and we'll be excited to hopefully interview him for the podcast. But he was here in the early days and has been just a wealth of knowledge for sharing the history about this farm and all of the people that have come through and tended to the land. And it's just an incredible opportunity to be a part of nurturing that history. Because, yeah, there's been tons of people that have been here, and I'm excited to be this next chapter. It's 20 acres. Some of it's wooded. Some of it will be in production. But I'm thrilled to be a part of restoring the land.
Yeah, it really is a just sort of, I don't know, I don't want to use the word sacred, but I can't think of anything else. To me, it's just like kind of a sacred space as far as being so instrumental in the early days of the organic farming movement in this region, because there was so much happening here, so much educational programming, so many community events, books being written here and researched here. And so, I don't know, having this opportunity to get to live here, wake up here every day, work on projects alongside my best friend and my other best friends, Zach and Emily. Aram and Faye are also visiting right now. There's 6 of us at Crabtree Farm. And yeah, just getting to like exist in this space, then like offer these classes like with Edmonds. Hopefully there's more collaborations in the future. You and I will, guaranteed be teaching classes, workshops here in the future. So yeah, I guess we should just invite folks to come see us if they're in the Seattle area. We're about, an hour north of Seattle-ish?
Right.
On a beautiful dead-end road surrounded with mountainous hillsides with trees, and just a mile away from our favorite spot, River Meadows, where we take the little dog to go walk, almost every day. But yeah, I don't know if you wanted to share about Tio at all.
I usually can't stop talking about my dog. So I am a dog mom through and through, and he is a blue heeler Boston Terrier mutt, and he does a good job patrolling the farm. He keeps us very safe.
Yeah, he's in my house right now because we're recording audio, and he can be spunky sometimes. But Even just as I left to walk over here, he looked just devastated because all that dog wants to do is be by your side and be on the farm helping with farm projects.
He's the farm mascot, and he's my shadow. He's
Yeah,
always by my side. So.
he's a very good boy. But speaking of him, we should probably go take him for a walk.
It's about that time.
Yeah. But this has been so cool. Like we hang out literally every day and talk all the time, but we don't always talk about this personal of stuff. And I honestly talk too much. And like to sit here and listen more and be in the presence of you and hearing more about your story. I just appreciate you. And thank you for spending this time with me and for opening up. And I'm sure it will be the first of many more episodes like this because I want to go deeper into who you are and more into your knowledge and your skills because there's a lot there. Thank you, Mary. You're the best.
I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Anything else to share with the folks listening before we end this thing?
I think just ask questions. I'm always open to share, so feel free.
Yeah. Where should folks connect with you?
They can connect on edgeperma.com. That's our main outlet. We do landscape design as well, but I think finding us there, that's the best hub for finding the school community and everything else that we do.
Yeah. And if you see any like beautiful reels on Instagram, those are probably Mary that made them. So
Yeah.
go say hi there too and comment and give her a shout out.
It's a great way to connect on there as well. So that'd be great.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. Hope you're all having an amazing day.
Peace.
And that was Mary Marshall. Find out more about Mary and her design work with Andrew at edgeperma.com and our new community at school.com/The Permaculture Collective. You can hear more from Mary as co-host of the Permaculture podcast in the interviews that she and Andrew have recorded for the show via the links in the show notes. If you have thoughts on this interview, questions for Mary or Andrew, or would like to suggest a guest for a future episode of the show, get in touch. Give me a call, 717-827-6266, email show@thepermaculturepodcast.com. You can also reach me electronically by visiting thepermaculturepodcast.com, click on Contact, and send me a direct message. You can also drop something in the mail. The show's address is The Permaculture Podcast, P.O. Box 2509, Falls Church, Virginia, 22042. The next episode will be an interview where Mary sits down with Andrew to discuss his work and journey in a few days. Until then, spend each day expanding your knowledge and deepening your understanding while taking care of Earth, yourself, and each other. This episode of the Permaculture Podcast is a collaboration between Permaneo Group, LLC, and Edge Perma. Find out more about our other projects at permaneogroup.com and edgeperma.com.